So. Should I start from the beginning again, or?
Might as well, Fernando, just start over.
Okay.
Just keep going in. Yeah.
Okay. We are back here on Debate Day in Jersey City. I am Fernando Uribe, here your moderator for today's Ward B Council candidates, and we'll be having a great conversation here with, unfortunately, one candidate, since the other candidate in the room was not adult enough to be here. We get to speak with Mr. Dean Hill from the Joyce Waterman ticket. Mr. Hill, how are you?
Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me to come before you guys to speak about the issues of Jersey City. My name is Dana Hill. I'm a candidate for Ward B. I've been living in Ward B for the last 54 years, okay? I attended PS 33 school on Union Street off of West Side, which I frequent the Dairy Queen. I frequent Benmore Skating Ring that used to be on Communipaw and West Side, the Blimpie Base itself, St. Aloysius, where I was a Boy Scout. I'm currently now the chairman of the Rent Leveling Board. I choose to be a candidate and to run for Ward B councilman because of all the situations that have incurred in the West Side that haven't been addressed. You have a situation where you have people have a problem with parking. You have a situation where people have a problem with the sanitation itself, cleaning the streets, the litter. The people that are not residents that live in other places that come and park in Ward B to catch the buses or catch the, whatever light rail they need to catch to get to where they gotta go, and that takes up space. So I'm looking just to make a difference in Ward B and speak for the people. I'm looking to make sure that the people get heard, and as a candidate of Ward B, that's what I'll be doing.
All right, Mr. Hill, again, you're the only candidate here in attendance, so we'll be actually trying to ask as many questions as we can here with 30-second responses, okay? So let's get started here when it comes to property taxes. Now, these certainly continue to be suffocating lifelong residents in Jersey City, but with what will very likely be a divided council, what do you think realistically can be done in your role as a member of the city council?
Well, in that question, in regards to the taxes in the city, first and foremost, we need to do more auditing as far as what is being spent in the city as far as the taxes are concerned. Just to make sure that everything is on a fair playing field for all residents, not just the ones that have the big buildings. Just making sure that the small man also is not paying a heavy price tax as the person that has the great big building is paying less tax. We want to make it fair across the board for all the residents, and that's my position to take in the city of and in the town and in the state. Just to bring that across and get the information and bring that back to the residents of Jersey City and explain to them the tax situation.
Okay, thank you. And again, folks, for everyone tuning in at home here, please like, comment, and share today's Debate Day in Jersey City as we're talking with Ward B Council candidate, Mr. Dana Hill, on the Joyce Waterman ticket. We appreciate your time here this afternoon. Mr. Hill, residents have been adamant about not altering major streets when it comes to bike lanes to subsequently alleviate congestion. What do you see as a viable solution to address this issue in Jersey City, since even in Ward B, we've seen more of a growth in bike lanes, obviously with the goal of alleviating congestion, that may or may not be the case. What do you think you could do in your role in the council?
Well, I think that with the bike lanes itself, we need to get more enforcement and more labeling as far as signage as far as the bike lanes are concerned. At certain parts of the bike lanes, they are wider than others. Some are more traveled than others. So we need to do more assessment of if the bike lane needs to be in that particular area. If not, let's move it to another place where there's more activity. I think the more you have more, how can I say, more of a conscious thought into where the bike lanes should be. Just not putting them up anywhere where we think that they should, they should just go here because that's a street that needs it. It's more to the fact of this is the bike lane, and the bike lane has this amount of traffic going through, and we should have the proper people doing the right things to make sure that it protects the citizens as they ride their bikes or scooters through those areas.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hill. Former Speaker of the House Tip O'Neill once said that all politics is local. Now, the phrase essentially means that a politician's success is determined by their ability to understand and cater to the specific everyday concerns of their constituents, rather than focusing solely on national issues. Shouldn't this be the case in Jersey City instead of focusing on President Trump like some council candidates are doing during this cycle?
Definitely. Local politics are so much important. The laws that are written are part of what the local government is about. City council itself is to make sure that the laws are enforced and make sure that the residents are protected, not just so much going after them in a negative. There is positive to those laws, and we need to make sure that the residents understand the negative and the positive to those laws.
Okay. Once again, folks here, if you're just joining us live, please like, comment, and share today's debate day in Jersey City as we're talking to Ward B Council candidate Mr. Dana Hill on the Joyce Waterman ticket. Now, e-bikes continue to be a concern for residents everywhere in Jersey City, specifically in Ward B. What do you feel you can do in your capacity on the City Council to address the dangers in some instances that e-bikes pose to residents, whether it's the elderly or children that walk to and from school?
The e-bikes. I think we need to have a licensing enforcement on the e-bikes. The bikes should be registered, they should have a number, and they should be monitored based on just as if you had a car. You should have some type of license, some type of insurance on those e-bikes to protect the residents that don't have one, or it might be crossing the street, or might be crossing a bike lane. They should be treated as well as if you're in a vehicle. They can be essential and effective by doing the right thing is by getting some type of paperwork stating that this is my bike, these are the rules, and these are the things I choose to follow. As a resident, you also want to be aware of the e-bikes itself and know that they come with restrictions, and you want to make sure that you're aware of those restrictions also. So it's a catch-22 type thing, but I think if enforcement would be the best thing for the e-bikes, and having licenses and having it registered so that they could be also protected too.
Now, just as a follow-up question, do you feel confident you can work with fellow members of the council to try to do that at a municipal level? Because at the end of the day, it almost becomes a statewide issue, right? When it comes to motor vehicles and what would fall under the jurisdiction of the Motor Vehicle Commission. But at a local level, do you feel you could work with your councilmen and councilwomen to make sure that this could be enacted at a municipal level?
Definitely. Being that their constituents, which is our constituents, which are residents of the city, we have to do the right thing to protect the residents. We have to make sure that those laws or those ordinances are in place to protect individuals, not just the rider, but the walker. We have to ensure that.
Okay, very good. It's very likely, as I said earlier, it's going to be a split ticket on the council based on the amount of candidates that are running, and we'll see what happens on November 4th and subsequently any potential runoffs. But how confident are you in your ability to work with your colleagues ultimately when it comes to the municipal budget? Residents have gone to city council meetings and also have taken to commentary online about the budget in Jersey City. How do you see the budget presently, and what would you like to cut from it?
Cutting something from the budget would have to come from the individuals who are the professionals at doing that. My position is to receive the facts and then analyze them all with the team, with the council, who's ever there, and we find the right solution for the residents. It just can't be myself, because I'm not the only person that's sitting there, so it would have to be a group collective agreement to make sure that the residents are being taken care of.
Okay. Once again, folks, for everyone tuning in at home, please like, comment, and share today's debate day in Jersey City as we're talking to Ward B Council candidate Mr. Dana Hill on the Joyce Waterman ticket, here courtesy of the Hudson Media Group. Mr. Hill, Jersey residents continue to voice their concerns at council meetings and also online about overdevelopment. It has priced lifelong residents out of Jersey City. What's a realistic policy proposal to address this?
The best way to address that is you have to definitely do some type of auditing. You have to talk to the developers. You have to make sure that if they're going to build, that they provide something for the community to make sure that they're giving back. We don't put that forth sometimes because we're looking at just building a building and putting people in it, and that's it. But we have to start to say, listen, if you're going to build here, you have to do something for the community. And Ward B, as it's building right now, we need to make sure that there's things there for the residents of Ward B to enjoy.
Okay. Very good, Mr. Hill. Let's continue on. Let's go with public safety. Big issue on the minds of Jersey City residents, for sure. Now, public safety doesn't appear to be the same throughout Jersey City. And in your ward, specifically in Ward B, many residents would say that is the case. What can you assure residents of what you will do to address this issue and ultimately help residents feel safer in Ward B?
Well, in Ward B, throughout the city, there is, but specifically in Ward B, because that's where I'm at, there's a lack of accountability and a lack of enforcement. We need to get accountability and we need to have enforcement. There are good people in Ward B who follow the laws and also do the right thing as far as maintaining and themselves accordingly. But there are few that constantly break the system. So we have to find a way to get the enforcement together to make sure that the people of Jersey City and the people of Ward B can have and be respected in the ward that they live in. Ward B is the best ward, and that ward needs to be respected.
Mr. Hill, other than Fernando Uribe, I can't imagine a more unpopular person in Jersey City than Public Safety Director Shea. And he's been in the headlines for quite some time. He has quite a complicated legacy for not just Jersey residents, but anyone that really views the Jersey political landscape. What would your recommendation be to the next mayor concerning what you would like to see out of this office and ultimately what the next public safety director should be doing in Jersey City?
Well, hats off to Director Shea for taking on the job, which is a tough job because it's so diverse in Jersey City and there's so many different angles to Jersey City that needs to be addressed. For me, coming to the next mayor is to ensure that, again, as I said earlier, and I will continue to say this, enforcement is key to Jersey City moving forward. You need to have people accountable to make sure that they follow the rules. It's so easy to go left and it's hard to go right. We need to make sure people understand the lefts and rights, what they can and cannot do in the city, and I would ensure that the mayor, whoever comes in, would do just that. Make sure that the residents are aware of the policies and the procedures of Jersey City.
Ms. Hill, just to follow up on that, certainly police cameras and accountability have been in the headlines for some years with the Jersey Police Department. And so we want to, support our men and women in blue in Jersey City. Having said that, what would be the best way for the next public safety director to address policing in Jersey City?
Well, to address the policing in Jersey City, you have your body cams, so that alone would help move forward with the process of the enforcement, okay? And then you'll have more officers on the streets. You'll have more competent people in places of administration. You'll have more people aware of Jersey City itself. And to be aware of Jersey City, you have to be here. You have to walk through these streets. You have to patrol these areas to make sure that, again, it's to protect the residents. People work hard every day to maintain what they have, and we need to have some type of enforcement and accountability for the people of Jersey City so they can be protected also.
Okay, very good. Let's move on to quality of life topics here. And cannabis remains an important issue for many residents. And do you feel that in Ward B we need more or less dispensaries? And are they really necessary for tax revenues in that ward? And more so, what would be your recommendations on the council as it pertains to dispensaries?
Well, the taxes definitely with the dispensaries will help with that. okay? The commercial sector of the taxes will be good with that. As far as the dispensaries are concerned, it boils down to just having common knowledge of what can be done and what not should be done. That will be on the cannabis board. They will put together information to bring back to the city council to give us the insight on what they have seen and not seen and what they feel is best for their business. And that would be something that would be by the cannabis board that will bring forth to us.
Okay, just as a follow-up, though, I mean, we're seeing a lot more dispensaries surfacing within Jersey City in all the wards, obviously citywide. Do you wish to see more or less dispensaries subsequently in Jersey City?
I don't think it's a thing of more or less. It's small businesses, right? So we want small businesses to come to Jersey City. We want them to come to Ward B. We want them to come to the whole city and operate efficiently, right? So you want it to be fair. You want, if them coming to Ward B and providing taxes to help ease the ward, I don't think that's a problem. But as long as they operate within the ordinance of the city, I don't think that's a problem.
Okay. Mr. Hill, Stephen Phillips' legacy is a complicated one for many residents. As he's completing his third term later on this year and moving on to a very lucrative position across the river in Manhattan, how do you look back and evaluate his administration? Not necessarily a letter grade, but how do you look back at the successes and any failures that you want to look back on?
From him coming in 2013, he has made a lot of changes to Jersey City. And I've seen the changes, and the city has grown in popularity, okay? There could have been some things that could not have been so aggressive, but for the most part, I feel as though that the mayor moved Jersey City forward, and he put a lot more than what was there prior to him coming there. So to me, I think he did what any mayor would do that's growing a city, is move Jersey City forward in the direction that he saw it. Now the new mayor will come in, they will have their agenda and their idea to move it forward. And that's all well and good. You know, each individual has their own ideas and their own identity to do something great for the city. So him doing what he did as far as where Jersey City is now was a great thing. Might not be to the liking of everyone, and it might have made some people discomfort, but Jersey City was not, and I've been here 54 years, so it's not where it was. So.
Okay, so as a follow-up, though, you're running on Joyce Waterman's ticket, the current council president. Should she be successful in being the next mayor, and you're on the council as well, what would you recommend to the mayor subsequently about building off of what Stephen Phillip did, or maybe moving away from what Stephen Phillip did?
Well, what I would want the mayor, Mayor Waterman, what I would want for her is to be a visionary and make the city grow. You know, allow herself to use her vision and put forth what spots or what things she may need to do and make the city grow. As a member of the council, my position is to agree or disagree and agree. You know, it's just what the betterment of Ward B, because that's where I represent, is to make sure Ward B is represented in all those aspects of moving the city and making it grow.
Okay. Staying again within quality of life, let's talk about healthcare. And certainly less and less hospitals are what we see in Jersey City. To your point about being a resident for over 50 years, you know what hospitals look like for some time. We've seen less of them in Jersey City. We've seen Hudson Regional Hospital now occupying space in Jersey City as opposed to what we saw with CarePoint Health. What do you feel you could do on your capacity on the council about working with the administration to ensure that more hospitals are built in Jersey City and not being done away with?
Well, as Jersey City, the hospitals, you know, because of the amount of residents that we have in this city, hospitals can get crowded very quickly, okay? You can have, you know, all different type of incidents where people come to the hospital. I think we should have med centers in different places of the city that people can come to for small situations, not so much as goes to the hospital directly. With those Medi-centers, will provide an ease on the hospital and allow people to get more of a better care when they go to the hospital and not just be there just to be there. I think just having a center just for, not a trauma center, but a place where a person can go to for something minor versus something great, which is the hospital would be. And hospitals itself, you would have to, do that from a person that understands hospitals and understand the demographics of where they should be placed based on the number of residents in an area so they can have access to the hospitals. So that's another thing, but that's for the professionals to come up with to make sure that it's available for the residents.
Okay, Mr. We'll be wrapping up shortly here, so I'm going to have to go to 30-second responses for these questions here, okay? So the arts community in Jersey City continues to be underrepresented. We all know the benefits of children being involved with the arts starting from a very young age and the beneficial effects of it. So what can you assure residents in Ward B of you being committed to the arts, and subsequently, what does that mean for you in your position on the city council?
Well, my position on the city council would be that I will partner with the Jersey City schools, public schools, and put something together forth that we can have some type of art classes in the schools, maybe partner with them to have an after-school program of art learning, all those different things that can help young adults, young children learn about the arts, because they're different people who have different talents, and those talents need to be exposed and put out there for the world and for the city to see. So I think just by partnering with the school board and the Jersey City Public Schools itself, with those programs would be good.
Okay. Residents have been voicing their need for a suitable Department of Recreation in Jersey City. What would that look like with you on the council, and what would you advocate for specifically?
For me, for the recreation department, advocating for youth, get more parents involved into the recreation department, get more parents involved into the sports, any type of activity that will allow a kid to soccer, all different things. Just get more training with the parents, get more of them enthused about what their child is doing, and partnering with the city to make sure that the funds are there for those activities to exist.
Now, specifically though, what type of activities would you want to recommend to the council and subsequently to the mayor when it comes to recreational programs, and where would you want to get funding from it?
Well, you have different, let's say, basketball or football or baseball, things that I grew up in the PAL and Jersey City Recreation as a young child. That would be a place where I would start to push to have those type of things revamped and pushed out there a little bit more, and get funding from sports world, get funding from different national grants that the city can get their hands on to allow to give their kids an opportunity in recreation.
Okay. Folks, we're just about to wrap up here shortly here with Mr. Danon Hill on the Joyce Waterman ticket, our Ward B council candidate here in Debate Day in Jersey City. Again, you have choices coming up on November the 4th. Again, please vote accordingly. It's that time of the program here. Mr. Hill, I appreciate your time coming up here into the Hudson Media Group studio as a Ward B council candidate. I'm going to give you a closing statement right now, 60 seconds to tell Jersey City residents why you're the best bet in Ward B. 60 seconds for your closing statement, sir.
Again, thank you, Media Group, for having me here, Hudson. I want to say the reason why you should choose me, Danon Hill, 13C on the ballot, is because not only am I a resident of Jersey City, but I'm also a working member of the city of Jersey City. So I've been doing things in the city. I've also had youth employed for the city, which was a program called Stop the Drop, which helped clean up the city within itself. As a member of the city council, I will ensure that the city is safe in Ward B, that the streets are clean in Ward B, and that you would have a direct connect to me, and I'm just the voice, and you guys are the actual people that will get things done. It just can't be me. It has to take all of us to do this. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. And that's debate day in Jersey City here with Ward B Council candidate, Mr. Dana Hill. You have choices, folks, coming up on November the 4th. It's always good to hear from candidates because, again, they answer to you, Jersey City residents. When we don't hear from candidates, well, shame on you. Once again, we want to thank the Hudson Media Group for hosting these debates, and they'll be doing that throughout this entire election cycle. Again, to check out more information from the leader in independent media here in Hudson County, check out the Hudson Media Group by going to their Facebook and, of course, also on their Instagram, X account, and also on YouTube. Again, folks, voting by mail has begun. Early voting begins later this October, and of course, you can vote in person on November the 4th. You have options in Ward B and throughout all of Jersey City coming up this year. I'm Fernando Uribe. Thank you so much for tuning in here. And once again, please like, comment, and share today's debate day in Jersey City for not just Ward A during the day, but now with Ward B Council candidate, Mr. Dana Hill. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to talking to you during this election season here with the Hudson Media Group.